find the right place.
Before we delve into our parasha this morning, I want to share with you the new hot game that has become all of the rage at the Epstein School. It's called Wordle. I can tell you that my son has wanted to play with me virtually every day for the past couple of weeks, and he's a lot better than me, which is pretty sad. He always seems to get that first word a lot quicker than me. Well, I was told that recently there is a new version of Wordle because, of course, Jews have to ruin everything. It's now called Joodle, if you're looking for another version of it. I'm going to play a game of Joodle with everyone this morning. Joodle's an actual app, but this is a different version. Miriam seems very excited over there, like this is something you've never heard of before. J-E-W-D-L-E, I believe is the name of the game. It is on... Everyone seems so surprised, my gosh. I've taught you something new today. Job done. I'm good. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm out, going out on a high note. No. I'm going to play a game of, all kidding aside, Joodle with everyone today, and here's what I'm going to do. I am going to show you 3 pictures that have to do with this week's parasha. You are going to tell me, think about what the word is, and I'll tell you it's a 6-letter word. Yeah, a 6-letter word that has all of these 3 pieces in common. We're going to talk about it after the 4th Aliyah, and I'll tell you, and I'll give a little drash at that point for the parasha this week. So, here are the 3 pictures, and the question is, what is the 6-letter English word that has to do with this week's parasha? The first picture is of a... Mishkan is a good guess, but it's not. Mishkan is not the answer. You're jumping the curve. This is a bima. Compliments of myjewishlearning.com. This is a Jewish cemetery. Okay, or a Jewish funeral more specifically. And the last one is a map of the state of Israel. Okay? Think about it. We'll come back together after the 4th Aliyah, see if you can figure out what 6-letter Joodle word has to do with these 3 pieces. And then I'll go into a little bit more a little later. For now, our parsha this morning is on page 826. Feel free to discuss amongst yourselves or your neighbors. See if we can solve this Joodle puzzle that I presented this morning. So who thinks they have an answer to the puzzle? The pictures once again. Jewish funeral, cemetery, Israel, and bima. What 6-letter word do these all have in common? If I really stumped my congregation, you're all so smart. Rabbi Lewis knows the answer. Anybody else? Before I go, I was going to say Rabbi Lewis would my first get. Anybody else? What word do these 3 have in common that have to do with our parasha? It's a lot of different variables here. The word, friends, is aliyah. Aliyah. Rabbi Lewis knew the answer. Yes, he did. Good. Okay, so 2 are obvious and 1 is a little less obvious. The first one, you go up to the bima, you have an aliyah. You move to Israel, you make aliyah. And the last one, the Jewish funeral. There is a greeting sometimes that people give to folks. It's not sometimes common in our community, but it is often said that you pray that someone's neshama, someone's soul who has died, makes aliyah. Now, what that means, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the idea, is that it is traditional to say Kaddish for 11 months. And among the Kabbalah, Jewish mystics, the idea is that while you're saying Kaddish, that soul elevates, rises up, right, over the course of that 11 months to heaven. And so part of the idea is that by saying Kaddish, you are helping that soul to make aliyah toward communing with God. And what do those words have to do with our parasha? The idea is that the name of our parasha is Beha'alotcha. And what is at the root of Beha'alotcha? Aliyah, which means, once again, to rise up. And the context in which that is used in this week's parasha has to do with the nerot, the candles that are lit at the beginning of our parasha. God commands to Moshe to make a menorah, to take a menorah, Beha'alotcha et hanerot, and to elevate the candles and light them for all to see. And there's a beautiful midrash that I've become very partial to, called the Midrash Lekach Tov, which teaches that the reason that these candles were lit and elevated was to remind the Jewish people of Moses' face when Moshe came down from Mount Sinai. Some of you may recall that when Moses comes down from Sinai, his face is aglow, right? And therefore, according to the Lekach Tov, it was a reminder to the Jewish people to commit themselves to the responsibility of performing mitzvot. In other words, it was a reminder to them to go out and to live a holy life and to rise up as we do when we have an aliyah, when we make aliyah, when we bury our loved ones, and to try to live a holy life. No doubt with all of that rising up, by the way, all of you have been thinking about the Falcons and their quarterback situation. We hope and do pray that they will rise up next season. But the reason that I mentioned specifically this idea of aliyah is because with a couple people who are here this morning, on Monday, I will be traveling to the state of Israel on my first synagogue trip that I will be taking out. Now, as Jews, I want to say that we must be grateful, truly, not only because of post-COVID, but that there are no shortage of wonderful summer vacations that any Jew can take. And I truly say that because one of the pictures I didn't bring this morning was a resort from the Catskills in the 1950s that said no Jews or dogs allowed, okay? So we are living in a very different time now where there are no limits for Jews to take vacations. If you haven't talked to the Jacobis or to the Charleses, they just came back from seeing Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates in Israel, something that would have been unthinkable just 2 or 3 even years ago. So that's what I mean by the world truly has opened up in a way it hasn't before. And yet, with all of these different options available, why would someone in today's day and age want to travel to Israel? What makes this trip so special that 18 of us, good Jewish number, are going to be heading out again on Monday? And for me, the answer lies once again in the parsha that we're reading this week, Beha'alotcha. Traveling to Israel is not only going to be a rockin' fun experience, we're going to go wine tasting, we're going to go jeeping in the Golan, kayaking or rafting down the Jordan River, staying in fabulous hotels and the like. But a trip to Israel, all of us in this room know, is really an experience where we raise up ourselves spiritually to a new height. There's a reason we say you make aliyah to Israel. No one goes down to Israel, you go up to Israel. And I'm recalling at this time the Nobel Prize winner Shai Agnon, who famously wrote in a short story that when you breathe in the air of Israel itself, it's like a sweet perfume. It helps you feel holy just by walking in Israel. Each year at Seder, I'm reminded, we say, next year in Jerusalem. And now after 2 years of postponing this trip, I am thrilled to say, next week in Jerusalem. And I can personally tell you why else I am excited. Because while there are some folks who are religious Zionists and love Israel because they feel spiritually risen up, there are other folks who love the culture of Israel and they feel risen up. I am a gastronomic Zionist. And that is why I feel risen up when I go to Israel. For those of you who may not keep kosher, going to Burger King may not seem that exciting to you. But, you know, you have to appreciate that living in Atlanta now, there are only 3 kosher meat restaurants that I can go to out of the house, and most of them are about a 20-minute drive away. In Israel, though, I can go to any grease pit on the side of the road, pull over and buy a shawarma or a most disgusting McDonald's hamburger and order it. And believe me, I will this week. Although I can tell you there are many better restaurants in Israel than McDonald's, including a Korean barbecue I hope to frequent at least once over the course of my trip in Jerusalem. The parasha this week, Beha'alotcha, challenges all of us in this room to contemplate how we will rise up as Jews, how we will add holiness and mitzvot to our lives. so that we have that glow on our faces, not just like Moses. Whether it's lighting candles on Shabbat or on Hanukkah, whether it's being called up to the Torah, even making Aliyah, which is a mitzvah itself, there are no shortage of ways that we can bring holiness into our lives. And so this Shabbat, whether you're coming to Israel with me or not, I want to challenge all of us to think, what is that one mitzvah, that one new Jewish thing you are going to do that's going to Beha'alotcha, lead you to light up your life this week? And with that in mind, I'd like to